Hey, welcome to Jim's Garage, and today I thought I'd give you some tips on lettering tires. I get all my lettering from tirestickers.com, and I've done all my cars with this company, and if you do things properly like they say, they work. They work beautifully. But what is the most important part? You know, here's my GT350, and I've got the orange letters I got from them. Now, granted, my cars are ridiculously clean. Here's my Z51 2016 Corvette. Of course, my cars are ridiculous. I mean, I don't get them in weather or anything else, but still the same process has to be followed if you want to keep your letters from peeling off. These are the permanents. They have a temporary, but I use the permanents. But if you're just going to use them on a strip, you get for the day, you know, the temporaries will do the job. But I'm going to give you some tips. The first thing I'm going to do is get my kneeling pad. By the way, if you want to really save your knees, of course I'm an older guy, so it's 77. I use this 3x3. I get it on Amazon. This is the heaviest upholstery foam you can get. Now, I can just drop down on my knees and it doesn't hurt. Now, I just did this 2022 Corvette, Z51 Corvette, and the letters are smooth. There's no open ends. Even after I got finished, I didn't have to worry about parts not sticking. But if you really want to know what the secret is, it's all these dirty washcloths. Now there's like 20 of them here, and you can see the black on them. Now these are all sides have been used. Okay, now these are brand new tires, and we all know that, well, maybe we don't know, but a lot of oil goes into the manufacture of tires. 7 gallons for sure, 2 gallons in the actual tire in order to complete the tire. And of course this is for these are pretty big tires. That's for a regular tire. These things, you know, the backs are 11 inches wide, and they're low profile, but still, you know, let's get down here. Now, back to what the trick is. The trick is you're going to have to spend about an hour cleaning this tire. And now, if they're not brand new, I would just go ahead and outside, you know, wash it down real good with Dawn or something like that, and get it really clean. Use a soft brush, do the wheel, do everything. You don't want any contamination hitting the tire. And what I do, I get a pack of these from Walmart. Their mainstay washcloths, there are 18 of them for $4.70, something like that. I will use at least 18 to clean one tire. And if you notice, you got to keep rubbing until there's nothing coming off. You know, I mean, these have been, I've flipped these tiles 4 times, and you can see there's about 20 of them here. If you get brake dust off and get them washed up real good, I would say it's going to take, to do it properly, I would use, you know, a pack of these. They're good, they're cheap, you know, what, 30 cents a piece, maybe, you know, something like that. Not quite, 25 cents a piece. And you just keep scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing until there's nothing left. Now what you use acetone. Go to the paint department, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, and get acetone. and keep rubbing those tires with acetone. And of course my wheels and all are perfect. These cars never go out in weather. But because I don't want to clean them like this again, I've got a F-150 I use for driving around. I keep that nice, but not ridiculous like these, you know. But again, TireSticker.com, the quality's great. The cuts are always good, and they'll give you a little card when you get them, you know, and it'll tell you the process. But I don't think they emphasize how cleaning is important, but I don't, you know, like I said, you rub until it's gone. Don't real quick want to see what they look like and slap them on, because that's a big mistake, you know. So there, hold on a second, I'm gonna get another position. Okay, another thing. I mean, if you're in the market for a mid-engine Corvette or any Corvette, a good thing to look for is if it has the battery pack with it. And you know, the new one plugs in up front here in the frunk, whatever they call it. I don't like the name frunk, but that's what they call the trunk up front. But this will keep your battery always charging. Otherwise, these things can really drain down. And I got to tell you, this is only an LT1, but it'll drain down pretty quick, you know. Now my other cars, I just once a month put them on a slow trickle charge, like my Shelby 13 Cobra, you know. This is a pretty car, but now these letters have been on for 3 years, 2.5 years, something like that, you know, but they're still sharp. Of course, like I said, you know, if you're an everyday driver, boy, I got to tell you, take your time putting these letters on, because it'll pay off, you know. And then when you wash them, use a soft brush. You know, they have soft window brushes at Home Depot and all, and it gets into the wheels, and it gets all the brake dust, and then don't use coarse brush. It's not necessary unless you, I don't know, can't imagine you'd be in anything so rough that a big soft brush wouldn't work. I think I've got one over here. This is what I use. Let's see. Oh, if it's here, it probably isn't here. Oh yeah, here it is. You know, something like this. Here, let me get it up here. You can see what it looks like. You know, I've got this one here. Boy, that really gets into the wheels and everything else. It's soft. It's real soft, you know, really pretty. Good for it. Then I also use, I get these at Dollar Tree, little pot scrubbers. They were $1. I don't know, maybe they went to $1.25. I haven't checked. But I use 2 of these, one for 2 tires, and it gets way in to where you can't get your hand, and gets inside the wheel. And again, you know, I'm a little crazy, but it's sure, you know, your wheels are a big part. We all know that the wheels are a big part of the way a car looks. So, you know, that's kind of an important tip for you. So make sure you get your acetone, and I would get 4 packs of these washcloths, and you see how much I use. That's 1 tire, folks. This isn't 4 tires, you know, and these pretty white things will look like that for 1 tire, you know. And you want to put special attention when you're cleaning them to the area that will actually take the letters. You know, you don't necessarily have to go around the entire tire, although it sure is nice to have it all looking good. I don't put tire shine or any of that crap on my stuff. I'm not a big tire shine guy. I don't do modifications. The only modification I do on my cars is the tire letters. You know, I don't go to AutoZone and try to find add-on stuff. My stuff is very stock. You know, it's the way it comes from the factory is the way I like it. It's just that even when I was a kid, we used to hand paint tires back in the 60s, mid 60s, and you know, we used to get like 20 bucks to do 4 tires, which is a bunch of money. But of course, painting them by hand, they don't last very long. You know, the paint, unless you really clean them like you would here, it doesn't hang on very good. But these guys have it down pretty good. Also, another big thing, make sure it's really warm. Keep those letters inside. Don't have them outside when it's a little cool and stuff like that. If the letters are hot and warm, that's when they go on. Now, I don't mean hot, but I mean at least 75 degrees temperature. And that way they conform to the tire much better. So clean, and in a warm environment. If it's cold in the garage, I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's just, you know, you don't need to fight any more stuff, you know. But they do make a car look really great, you know. If they're done wrong and one letter's peeled off or something like that, man, it looks like crap, you know. Don't, just follow their directions. Their instructions are really good. And but I wanted to make special note of what you have to do. Now, after you put the glue on, and you're going to smear the glue with the tip of the tube of glue they give you, little bottle of glue, and make sure you get all, you know, all done. But don't overdo it. I usually have glue left over. So if they send me a set of 8 stickers, they give you about the glue you need, and I usually have, oh man, I don't know, at least 25% left over. If you use all the glue and you run out, you're using too much glue. Now if you notice, well, I don't know if you can tell from this, but I have no bleed out. There's no bleed out, there's no extra glue, but I bring it to the end and then I push it on. You do about 4 letters at a time, you know. They usually cut it 4 letters at a time, and you kind of gently push the glue, especially to the ends, little ends, and in the corners. And then what I do that they don't show, but it's worked extremely well, it gives them a nice finish. I use a wooden roller that used to be for wallpaper seaming. You know, everybody's used them before when you had the seam and the wallpaper and you roll it with this, you know. But I would just gently roll it on, and that's why these things are so flat. They're flat and tight because it's your fingers can put like pock marks, you know. Your fingers are round, you know, and I wanted them nice and smooth. So I was in the decorating business for years, and we always use these, and I've used it for multiple things, but I didn't even have to put the glue around the edges, because sometimes they ask you to, after you get them on, seal it by putting glue around. Now my glue is just peeking out. That's about it. After I use this, it finishes them off. You know, start with your fingers. Don't work with more than 4 letters at a time, and just do the push. Spend about 4 minutes doing it, you know. Don't be in a hurry, you know. I mean, if I finish a tire one day like this, I didn't have any problem. The weather's crappy out and I just did a tire every day, you know. But if it's your daily driver, I know that's harder to do. But even then, just do a tire and do the tire the next warm day, and pretty soon you got all 4 of them done. Main thing is to have a good custom look. But I would roll them out like this. And it's hard to find these darn things anymore. You know, a paint store usually would have them, but I looked. I couldn't find them at Home Depot or Lowe's, so I just ordered on Amazon. I think it was $4.50 delivered. You know, you can't beat that. So the 2 things you're going to need, 1 roller, okay, and you're going to need a pack of these per tire. You know, make sure you don't use old rags that have oil on them or something like that. You got 2 gallons of oil in the damn tire right now, you know, so you got to watch that. You know, don't, you got to get that oil off. That's what all this is. It's oil and a rubber, you know, mixture. And remember, this is off a brand new tire, Okay, we're talking a brand new tire. There's only 52 miles on this car. Okay, and this is what I got. Look at that. All right, so you'd have an investment of maybe $24 plus whatever and if you have any rags left over, well, that's just great. You can always use them for shop towels. They're pretty cheap. But that's pretty much it for Jim's Garage. You know, tell your friends, and you know, if you hit subscribe and like. I'm not real serious about doing stuff. I just come up with an idea now and then and then think, well, I'll pass it on, you know. I'm not trying to make a living doing this. I'm 77. I don't have that much living to go yet that I love my cars, and that's what I want to kind of pass on. I've been doing cars for, you know, over 60 years. So started out with the GTO and 55 Thunderbird, stuff like that. So I've always loved cars, you know. And I always take real good care of them, you know. The day that'll be good is when you can have a car to drive and a car to take care of, you know, and take out on nice days, you know. But until